It's Maggie the Artist Gypsy here to bring you your August 2020 general readings. We're looking at the first half of August from the 1st through the 15th. This reading is for the Earth sign of Capricorn. Welcome everyone. I hope that you're all safe and well and staying, as I always usually say, as sane and grounded as possible. It's been an unprecedented year and I hope everyone's doing all right. Thanks for taking the time to tune in with us today. Thanks for all that you do, your likes, shares, subscribes, your donations. Every little bit helps, even if it's just taking the time to watch the video or hitting that subscribe button. It's all welcome and appreciated. All right, Capricorn, this reading is for you for the first half of August. So that can be Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, if your Venus is in Capricorn, if you're cross-watching for a Capricorn. It all applies, but general readings always resonate a little differently for everyone. So watch all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, if you know them, because it can just bring an additional kind of perspective and insight into what's going on with you right now. If any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something, just click on the description link below, click on that little arrow that pulls down information. You'll see my email address there. Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I can usually respond with more info the same day or the first 24 hours, and I do readings full-time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule, my schedule, to get readings set up in as timely a fashion as possible. So email me, I'd be delighted to hear from you. Okay, Capricorn. First half of August. Let's see what it holds for you. For those of you who need to know, want to know, I am using the Gilded Tarot Royale. Ooh, Capricorn, we begin with the Ace of Wands, followed by the Sun. You know what? One of your sister signs, Virgo, got these cards too in the same position, the Ace of Wands over the Sun, and that was, see, I did a water sign last, so that was at least 1 or 2 readings ago. Interesting. But I often find that, every element that governs each 3 signs sometimes has very similar themes. Wow. We have Death and the Magician. From the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Swords. Yeah, very similar to Virgo's reading, except they had the Nine of Wands. So Capricorn, it looks like you might be feeling kind of tired, overwhelmed, exhausted, worn out, maybe taking a little bit of time off or taking a step back from some kind of challenge or something. That's your overall energy for the first half of August, the Four of Swords. Taking a temporary respite and relief from some kind of battle or challenge of some kind. Can represent feeling tired, needing to take some time off, step back, recuperate, maybe get some more sleep, maybe take a little bit better care of both your physical and your mental self. And you can also gain, by doing that, of course, different perspective. Sometimes when we're in the midst of dealing with something difficult or just challenging, it's hard to sometimes get perspective when you're in the midst of it. You can't see all the aspects of it, and especially if you're feeling, tired. So it's about taking a step back from this temporarily through the first half of August. Even though that in and of itself may be a challenge, because just like with Virgo, I mean, you've got Death and the Sun here, so there's endings, but there's also beautiful new beginnings. But this looks like an ending that you have manifested yourself, because perhaps in order to have this new beginning, we have Death clarified by the Magician. So Death represents a final ending of something. which is what physical death represents too, the death of our physical body, and then we move on and transition into whatever else is beyond that. So death usually represents a pretty final ending, kind of complete clearing out of the ground so that something new can be planted in its place. Birth follows death, beginnings follow endings. That's always how it works. Now what clarifies and accompanies death is the Magician, another major arcana card. Gosh, out of 5 cards you have 3. So just like your other sister signs, potentially pretty extraordinarily profound time the first half of August. The Magician is a manifester. He's worked long and hard to get to a place where he has control over all of these elements. You know, pentacles, wands, cups, and swords, which is really control of the elements these represent: earth, air, fire, water, heart, mind, physical self, spirit, emotions. The Magician is a card that represents success through talent and hard work, because the Magician knows that it's not just enough to kind of, mentally envision what he thinks about and dreams about in his heart. He has to combine that with the talents that God gave him, along with the physical hard work and doing everything that you need to do, and combining all of that to make something a physical reality. He is a manifester, and he knows how to do that. So whatever this ending is, keep wanting to say Virgo, Capricorn, this is something you have played a large part, if not the part, in manifesting it. And that might be why you're feeling kind of tired, worn out, exhausted. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a big move, a big physical move. It can be exhausting, draining, chaotic, full of the inconvenient little problems that include moving. It's disorganized, it's disorganization at its best. Even if you're really excited about where you're moving to, it's like the whole process of manifesting that is really difficult. It might be moving for some of you. I don't know why that just came into my head. But what are you going towards? What's after this ending? Something gorgeous. We have the Ace of Wands and the Sun. Aces are the number 1, so they always represent a new start, a new path, a new beginning. And this one holds fire, passion, creativity, excitement, enthusiasm. The Sun comes out and it illuminates and clarifies everything. I mean, the Sun card affects, just like the real sun does, everything in the spread that comes out. It can act as a booster to positive energy. It can act as a lessener to any challenging energy. It is bringing light, love, warmth, laughter, a releasing of tension and restrictive energies. It's a beautiful, profound reading. Let's see if we can clarify one or two things. Let's clarify death. The Ten of Wands, another ending. Again, it's like Virgos. I clarified the Tower with death. So we know it's an ending. The Ten of Wands here represents wrapping up the end of a cycle, because tens represent cycle completion, something coming full circle. And here, this has been something very difficult, and probably something that's been going on for a while. A burden you've had to carry, a cross you've had to bear, something you've been putting a lot of work into for a long time. But you're just about at the end where you can reach your destination, your point of achievement, and lay these wands down and be free from this burden. And it's because of you, yourself, your hard work, your talent, all of that. So something you've either been struggling under or working towards is finally wrapping up, so you can have this new beginning. And again, it is in large part because of you. Your talent, your skills, your hard work. Let's clarify this Ace of Wands. Starting off again with the Ace of Wands clarified by the Sun. The image that came into my head, Capricorn, was, being on a roller coaster, and that long, slow ride up to the top of that first great big huge, dive, and then being poised at the top, lifting your arms and getting ready to start screaming. That's the energy that I'm getting from the Ace of Wands and the Sun. The Two of Cups. Could this be love and relationship? Whatever it is, so the Two of Cups represents a beautiful karmic match. Whether it's like of a romantic nature between two lovers, between two friends, between two corporations. The Two of Cups represents two entities, things, people, situations merging in a way that is the perfect combining of those two things. Whether it's a person or a situation or two companies even uniting, because that can show up for, work. It represents that it's a really, whatever this new beginning is, it was almost tailor-made for you. And for some of you, it might be relationship-oriented. Maybe something you've worked really hard for. But it looks like it's been a long ride. It looks like it's been an exhausting ride. Let's pull an advice guidance card. What's the best way for Capricorn to navigate through this situation, this time period, or anything they should focus on? I'm getting a very specific story, Capricorn, that for some of you, this is about a relationship. There's been some distance, some estrangement or distance between the two of you, physical distance. It might have been that one of you is in one country and one of you is in another. You've been working very hard to set and achieve the goals that you needed to in order to be together, and it is just about there. Interesting. Holy cow. We have the Tower and the Ace of Cups. Did somebody, the Tower, the Ace of Cups, and the Two of Cups. You have almost all the major arcana cards that Virgo did. The Tower, Death, the Sun. This, you know what this looks like? This looks like, gosh, this looks like a whole bunch of different things. This looks like somebody who decided to perhaps blow their previously known life up in order to be with a soulmate, kindred spirit that they met and fell in love with very quickly. It's interesting because I'm actually getting a sense of physical moving, like you're physically moving. It could be the two of you physically moving together. It could be the two of you physically moving to be together. I'm also getting, interestingly enough, I'm also getting an unexpected pregnancy for some of you, you and a partner, but something that you've wanted and longed for quite a long time, and maybe there was difficulties or you thought it wasn't possible, and here it's happening. That's interesting too. I mean, I can understand why you're feeling kind of tired, worn out, and exhausted. But it's kind of like going through something that's really great and beautiful and exciting, but exhausting at the same time. I don't get quite the same sensation as I did with Virgo that it's quite as challenging. It's very disruptive, but it feels like most of you see this as a blessing right from the get-go. Your advice is the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady does it. Try not to be too impulsive, because the Knight of Pentacles, even though all knights are known for being spontaneous, they have a mission, a quest, and the Knight of Pentacles is the Knight of Earth. He's the one knight guaranteed to accomplish his mission and quest, but he does it by being cautious, methodical, detail-oriented, one step in front of the other, not taking shortcuts or cutting corners or anything like that. So, because there's an awful lot of, and it's your energy, Earth energy, Capricorn, but there's so much like exuberant, spontaneous energy here that might be a bit of a challenge for you. So just remember, one foot in front of the other, slow and steady, pay attention to details during this process, and don't skip over anything is what I'm getting as well. Fill in all the blanks. So Capricorn, that is your reading for the first half of August. For those of you for whom, the earth sign readings resonate, I always like to hear feedback on how this resonates for people, but these are particularly extraordinary, so please let me know if you're comfortable with that. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the August mid-month general readings. Until then, stay safe and well. I hope to see you back here soon. Again, if you're interested in reaching out for a personal reading, email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. And I will see you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.